This summer, the sun rises.
That's true, Dale. It is back. And this summer, everyone can experience the excitement of Cirque Du Soleil in Las Vegas with tickets starting at $75.
Intermission is finally over. Buy tickets now at cirquedusoleil.com/Las-Vegas. That's LAS-VEGAS.
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
We got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio, on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your
It's
hosts,
very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
Hi, Dale.
Hi.
Wow. July 6th. July 6th, 2021. This is episode 325 of the Swish Edition. I'm Scott, and Dale's here too.
Hi.
And hey, Charlie's in the studio.
Hey.
We're excited to be back and excited to let you guys know that if you're listening to the show on the day that it comes out, July 6th, today is National Fried Chicken Day.
I love it so much.
Where do these national days come from?
It's gotten to the point now. I mean, I guess it's fun.
There's some really silly ones.
But I think it's gotten to the point because it's so much. I don't care anymore.
Well, no, nobody cares.
No.
Nobody cares. It's just silly.
Yeah.
I mean, Popsicle Day. There's literally one coming up later this week called Daughters and Fathers Taking a Walk Day. I mean, okay.
Stupid.
I mean, who comes up with this shit? But
We're talking about it.
if you guys are wondering what to have for dinner tonight, maybe you want to drive over to the KFC and get yourself a bucket.
Isn't it so good?
There's a family fill-up bucket for $20. Get all the sides. We know all about chicken here in Southern
We
Belle.
had it not that long ago. We invited a bunch of people over and had a bunch of fried chicken. It was good.
And we actually got it from KFC.
Yeah.
KFC makes some damn good fried chicken.
Well, I'd hope so. That's what they're in the business for.
True. A record number of people are flying this summer.
I see this as a very good sign.
Yeah.
This is a good sign.
And of course, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but every time we sit down at this microphones in our studio, the dogs decide to go bananas.
And there's no one here.
There's no one here. So if you hear that, that's what that is. Anyway, record number of people. We included, Dale and I are getting on an airplane on July 17th.
We've already flown 3 times already this year.
Yeah.
So we're kind of back on schedule.
We are. Dale's going to close the door to the studio. We're going to spank the dogs when we're done with the show.
No, we're not. We never do. That's the problem.
The Biden administration plans to require airlines to refund checked baggage fees if bags get seriously delayed. Now, there's a question of what seriously delayed means.
Yeah.
But I like this idea. Now, I'm not all for government regulation. You know me. I've been talking about this for years.
Yeah.
I think the government gets involved in way too much stuff in our lives.
But I think this is a good one.
However, I like this one. If you guys, you're not flying first class, or most people fly coach or in main cabin, and they need to pay for the bags that they're putting on the airplane.
Right.
And those fees are hefty. Usually $25 for the first,
$35, yeah.
$40 for the second. The prices rack up. If they delay your bag for days and days and you need to go to the store and buy more clothes because you have nothing to wear, or if, heaven forbid, your bag is lost forever, which has happened to friends of mine where they've lost countless thousands of dollars worth of clothes, I think something like this is good. The proposal would also require refunds for fees on extras such as internet access if the airline fails to provide the service during the flight. Dale,
we're talking to you, American Airlines.
you know all about this.
Last 2 flights.
Right.
And if you consider round trips, it's 4 flights that we've been on.
Right. Where the internet didn't work.
It's not worked.
Right. And if you pay for it, of course you should get your money back.
But not even if you pay for it. Is that even if you buy a ticket, right, and you're entitled to this in-flight entertainment because you know they've taken out all the TVs, so you're required to bring your own device, and you connect to the in-flight internet without paying to be able to enjoy this entertainment.
Yeah.
You're paying for that, right? In this ticket
You're not
price.
getting it.
And the last 2 round-trip flights on American, we have not been able to access the internet.
Right. And the
in-flight entertainment.
And when you ask the flight attendant about it, they never friggin' know what's going on.
They don't know.
They never know what's going on, and they don't know how to fix it. Apparently, it's something that the pilots do in the cockpit, which makes no sense to me. Why do the pilots have anything to do with the internet? It seems to think that the flight attendant should have something to do with that. Anyway, airlines made, get this deal, $5.8 billion on checked bags in 2019, which is kind of ridiculous. So, of course, they're going to continue to do that.
It's a lot of money.
But now they're going to have to give that money back if your bags are officially lost. Most airlines will declare a bag lost if they can't find it between 5 and 14 days after the flight.
I disagree.
What is 5 and 14 days? That's a big disparity there.
Exactly. And I hope that if this plan, I like what I see here, but the 5 to 14 days is not a lost bag. Luckily, of all the times that I've flown countless times. And knock on wood, my bag has always been there.
Yeah.
But I disagree with even the 5 days. If you can't find my bag, I'm in some shit because I'm here at this city for a reason and I need my shit.
Yeah. Well, I've definitely had bags that have been delayed, that have been delivered several hours, up to 24 hours after my trip. That's happened to me a couple times.
I think that's okay.
But I've also had a friend who lost a bag with 3 very expensive suits in it, and it was never seen again. So it can happen. It does happen to people. And heaven forbid they lose your dog. Don't check your animals.
Yes.
Please don't check your animals.
Because I just read there was another puppy death on Delta.
Yeah. Just don't.
Do not
drive.
Fly with your animal.
Just friggin' drive. Or don't go.
Just stop taking animals on flights.
Yeah, it's so
Stop
stupid. We're starting off with bad news, but let's talk about good news. Quentin Tarantino has been in the news a lot lately because he was on Bill Maher recently. He's also been doing podcasts.
And let's just say that on Bill Maher, he said he has one more film in him and he's done.
I know.
Because he said his creative juices are not done or out, but they're running low, and he wants to end on a high.
He wants to end on a high note, which is what we hope a lot of creative types will do before they start getting sucky, right?
Right. I
mean, there's been a lot of shows on TV that have gone on way too long that should have ended years before they did. So maybe he's got a good thing here, but a lot of his fans don't want him to stop. They want him to keep making these great movies. And the one thing that they want him to make is Kill Bill Volume 3.
I have never been a fan of this franchise.
Oh, I don't understand you, Dale. These are, they're things that I really
weird movies.
There's things that I really like about you, but you not loving, flat out loving Kill Bill 1 and 2, I don't understand because they're two of my favorite movies of all time.
I'm not offended because this is coming from the person who thinks that other movie, Clueless, is like the greatest movie of all time.
Well, Clueless and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Those are the two best movies of all time.
I'm not offended. I'm not offended.
Okay, fuck you. What is your favorite movie of all time? Have you ever announced that on the show?
I don't know if I have a favorite movie of all time. I have several movies that if I find them on, I will watch.
What's a movie that you've watched 10 or more times?
That's actually not true. I think some of my favorite movies are, like, I totally enjoyed Tommy Boy.
God. So you're making fun of me for Clueless and you love Tommy Boy?
I've never said that Tommy Boy was the greatest movie of all time. That is a personal favorite of mine. Okay. I also absolutely love Uncle Buck.
Oh, well, I'm with you on that. That's a Chris Columbus film. I love Uncle Buck.
I have them on digital. I watch them.
Yeah. Well, anything.
I've seen them 50 times by now.
All the Chris Columbus movies are good.
Right.
Okay, I will give you that one. We should go watch Uncle Buck as soon as we're done taping this show.
Right. It's one thing to like a movie, but you go one step further and put a stamp on it, and that I'm not willing to do. Yeah. I don't know if I have the like Independence Day.
Yeah.
I will watch that.
Oh.
If HBO if it just played and then it just played again and played again, I'd watch it.
Just keep watching.
I just keep watching it. I do that with Battleship. How many times have I watched Battleship last week?
I came into the room
I
the
watched
other
it
day.
3 times last week because it was on HBO.
I said,
3 times.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I just enjoy them.
All right, so Tarantino said that he would totally be on board with making Volume 3. He's very fucking excited about it, he said. But he needs to have Uma Thurman come back as the bride alongside Thurman's daughter, Maya Hawke, who is amazingly...
Not Ethan Hawke's daughter?
It is Ethan Hawke's daughter, yes. As the bride's grown-up kid, which makes a lot of sense. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would actually be really, really great. But has someone told Ethan Hawke that how attractive he would be if he get his teeth fixed?
Oh my goodness. You're totally going off in left field.
I know he has money. He hasn't like spent it all, right? He hasn't like filed for bankruptcy like some of these other celebrities.
No.
Can you just fix what's in your mouth? Oh my goodness. And you would actually be an attractive man.
This is horrible.
But it's true.
All right. But I want to talk about Viveka A. Fox. She's also really excited about Volume 3. Of course, she played Vernita Green on the original 2 movies. She was a member of the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad. And she also thinks that her daughter should be part of this. I think they should all have daughters and all come back, and the daughters fight each other, and the grown-ups fight each other, and I just love this idea. Anyway, so let's get cracking, Quentin. Get cracking. I want this to happen before you retire. We talked about this on our other show, the Binge Bum podcast, all about streaming video, but we're very, very excited about The Many Saints of Newark. It's coming out October 1st.
Not Delaware, New Jersey.
That's right. This is a prequel movie to the mega successful The Sopranos series on HBO. So the movie stars Michael Gandolfini, who is the son of the original guy who played Tony Soprano on the series, of course. Right. He passed away, unfortunately. And here's the real... We talked briefly about this on our other show. He said, my dad didn't want me to see Tony Soprano. The violence, the angry, the mean. Of course, I was on set and I would visit him in his trailer, but I had never watched the show. I never knew Tony Soprano. I only knew my dad.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, so he never watched The Sopranos or knew who Tony Soprano was until after his father died. And now he's playing
How old
Tony
is he now?
Soprano. He's probably late teens, early 20s.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Many Saints of Newark will debut in theaters and on HBO Max on October 1st.
Yeah, and what we must say is that this is a day and date. So on October 1st, you'll have until October 31st to watch it, and November 1st it will not be available.
Right, so you can go to the theaters and watch it like a real movie should be watched.
Right.
Or you can watch it on HBO Max if you're a subscriber for a month.
Right, but here's what I want to say about this. You know, I have seen a handful of episodes of The Sopranos. I'm not going to say I wasn't a fan. I didn't enjoy the show. However, looking at this new trailer that just came out, I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is I feel like by watching the trailer that I don't need to have to know anything about The Sopranos to be able to enjoy this film.
Because it's a prequel.
Right.
So you definitely don't. This is early mob days.
Aren't there people in the trailer who are in The Sopranos?
People that are talked about. Well, certainly Tony Soprano and his mother and his uncles.
And they're in the film.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All played by different people. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting.
I'll watch it.
If you're a huge Sopranos fan, you're definitely going to want to watch this movie. But if you're not, I think it's going to work as a standalone film. I really do.
Maybe watching this, because I will say that the handful that I've watched, I have not watched in order.
Right, I understand that. And I've been trying to get you to watch the entire series. Like, you and I just finished, a couple days ago, we just finished watching the entire series of The Golden Girls. And I thought the ending was kind of, okay. I mean,
you got to preface this before you just blurt that out.
I know, but...
So we did finish the whole season of Golden Girls, but you got to let people know that that's our dinner time show.
No, right. I guess we watch it while we're making dinner. We watch it while we're eating dinner, not while we're like super focused on something.
Right, because it's something that you don't have to think about. It's just kind of ha-ha funny when
But
you
my
glance
point
at it.
is that if we sat down and watched Sopranos in order, the way it's supposed to be watched, I think you'd really enjoy it. It's very deep. It's very multi-dimensional. There's a lot going on. It's a saga. It's a saga.
I do like Peggy.
I don't know who that is.
Peggy, because that's how I know her. Peggy from the Peg Bundy.
She is not in it. She's not in The Sopranos, but
yes, she is.
No, she's not.
Who am I mistaking her for?
Are you thinking about? I don't know. Edie Falco, who plays?
Yes. Oh, that's who I'm Okay.
Yeah. Totally different actress.
Holy shit. Why did I think that was Peg Bundy?
So I now have, listeners of the Swish Edition.
You don't have to say anything. You just say I got it wrong. You don't have to.
No. I'm saying that I have a new mission in life, and it's to get you to watch the fucking Sopranos every single episode from beginning to end.
I don't know why.
Because I think you'll love it.
I don't know why I thought that woman was Peg Bundy.
That's hilarious. She would have been great in the Sopranos.
I think they look alike.
She's a great actress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peg Bundy is on the Roseanne.
Yeah, but what's her name in real life?
I don't have no idea.
You know
I do know it, but I can't think of it right now.
I came up with Edie Falco. Why can't you come up with Peg's name?
I don't know. I just think Peg Bundy was Edie Falco.
Let's talk about locking the bitch up, okay? This is the craziest story I've ever heard, but I don't know. Listen, guys.
I got different. This story.
Listen straight.
Twists me inside and out and all sideways, and I don't know whose side I fall on.
I'm very on the fence on this. Okay, a DC drag performer is at home now after DC Superior Court decided not to pursue charges against her. Mm-hmm. This is an incident that happened at the DuPont Circle Underground, which was just a couple blocks from our house in Washington, D.C. when we lived there. On last weekend, I think it was, they were doing a drag show and lots of people went. And apparently she was accused of unwanted sexual conduct after twerking on a customer during a performance.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to her name. Her name is Kubaki Bukaki.
Kubaki Bukaki.
I don't think when you and I lived in D.C. that she was a performer that we saw very much. I don't remember Kubaki Bukaki. She's not one of the ones I remember.
I think she's new since we've moved.
Yeah. This was part of Pride Month, and a lot of straight people like to go to drag shows. I get that.
And I think that's great.
And they go all the time, and I think it's wonderful, and they always usually end up having a good time. Bukaki took the stage and began performing to Cardi B's WAP, which is...
it's WAP. It's Wet Ass Pussy.
Wet Ass Pussy, which is just completely not appropriate.
It's a great song.
Right, but it's not appropriate. Not appropriate for
who?
kids. Not for kids.
These weren't kids that we're talking about.
She tried to pick out an audience member to come up on stage with her, which is a frequent gimmick that drag queens do. They mess with the audience members to get a reaction from the crowd. And she was twerking. She accidentally fell down on this woman, and the woman basically it was a misunderstanding, and it was an accident. And basically, from the crowd's view, it looked like she was simulating oral sex on this poor girl who was a straight girl from the audience. The show went on, and the woman didn't complain or talk to management. But afterwards, Bukaki was arrested and put in jail for 48 hours.
As I've read a couple of articles about this, and I will say that this whole fell on top of the woman and trying to get up, and it looked like it was simulating oral sex, that was from Bukaki, the drag queen.
Right, that was her explanation.
That was her explanation. There was no explanation from the girl, which I agree with. Don't freaking talk to any press, because it's none of their freaking business.
Listen, this is my take on this. If you go to a drag show, you got to be ready for anything.
You cannot. I hate this. I hate that was the explanation in the thing, which made me hate everything that was in that article.
All right.
Is that you are a drag queen, right? This is the gay community. You want acceptance, right? So there are going to constantly be new people coming to experience this thing. Maybe they have friends. Maybe they're in the closet and they got a free night out and they're going to do this stuff, right?
Right.
So you can't say that you should expect this is a drag show and this is what comes with it. Because if I'm sitting in a chair and I get pulled up on stage, or you know how they do, and this has happened to me, but I've known all of them. We've gone to a lot of drag shows and being grabbed in the crotch.
Yeah.
I didn't welcome it.
No.
But I knew I knew these people and I laughed it off. It's funny. That's the thing. But not everyone is like that.
I get it. Okay, but I'm going to push back a little bit because you and I have been to shows where we've been pulled up on stage. We went to a non-gay, non-drag show in Vegas. It's a show called Opium at the Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
Great
show.
You and I just happened to be in the front row. Well, we paid to be in the front row.
Right.
And not knowing that we're going to get pulled on stage. We both got pulled up on stage. I think one of us was sodomized by a bunny. And the other one was groped. I mean, we were definitely harassed and touched in a way that was probably not appropriate, but it was all part of the show, and it's what you get when you go to that type of show.
I disagree with that whole thing.
What about when we went to the other show, Absinthe, and there were a black couple in the front row, and they were making black jokes about the black couple in the front row? I mean, when you go to that type of show, don't you expect that you're going with audience participation that you're going to get called out?
Vulgar language, yes, I totally agree. You don't like it, walk the hell out. You don't call the cops on vulgar language, right? You and I had an idea of what we were getting into. I am very liberal and relaxed, and I had fun. I didn't care that happened. But there are some people who are going to take offense to being grabbed by the pussy.
But are you really offended? Are you really grabbed by the pussy if a guy in drag does it as part of a show? Are you really somehow hurt by that? Are you going to be scarred for life because a drag queen
I'm fine with it.
And there was no grabbing by the pussy in this situation. It was pretending to lick her pussy, which she didn't actually do. So are you really scarred for life by that incident so much that you need to call 911 and have the guy dressed in drag arrested?
Do we know how old this woman is?
It doesn't even matter.
Of course it does. Maybe she just turned 21. She was allowed in these places and didn't know what to expect.
I guess we're just on an impasse on this, but I think it's just ridiculous.
Here's one thing I think that we agree on.
You're scarred for life.
Is that in this article?
I mean, was she actually penetrated? No.
But that doesn't matter. But no, it doesn't. But here's where I do a problem with the article.
Yeah.
Is that it was Pride. This was a drag queen. Yeah. This was a black man who was in drag.
Right.
And at least 2 paragraphs of this entire article were up in arms that someone who was a customer, a patron of this show, called the cops, and that a gay black man in drag was arrested on Juneteenth.
Oh God! Well,
that was the focus of their story.
That has nothing.
And that
had
nothing to do with it. But
right.
At least 2 paragraphs of this 5-paragraph story was focused on those 2 things.
Well, that's too bad.
And that's the same thing with like Black Lives Matter movement, the defund the police movement. No, I'm serious. Is that you need to pick? You gotta pick your battles in this, and that is not.
Well, I think
you got to focus on the situation.
All right. Well, I think that the article writer and or Bukkake went too far in that, but I also think the woman who pressed charges against this person, went too far in calling the police on something that innocent and was supposed to be fun and entertaining for the crowd.
Yes.
So if you
I don't think that the drag queen should have spent 2 nights in jail.
No, well, she shouldn't have.
But not because it was Juneteenth.
Spent 5 minutes in jail because it was ridiculous.
Right.
If she really had a problem, she should have gone to management and said, "This was not cool. This was not cool. I'd like my money back."
So maybe these performers should.
But no one should go to jail for something like that.
Right.
And of course, the DC government decided. The DC police and prosecutors, whoever's involved after something like that happens, they said, "This is ridiculous. You're free to go. We're not pressing charges because this is stupid." They realized that was stupid. So, the woman who had called 911 could certainly file a civil suit if she wants to, but the government is basically like, this is stupid. Move on.
I agree with that, but I think this is in the performer's hands that she needs to know her audience.
And maybe performers need to stop touching their audience members. Right. How about that?
Yeah.
But how many times have we watched comedians call out people and embarrass them? I mean, that happens all the time. But I think if you go to a
that's language. That's not actual physically touching. That's the issue here.
Very true. You want to switch to space real quick?
Please.
Richard Branson is having nothing. He does not want to let Bezos go to space before him. So he announced this past week that his Virgin Atlantic company is going up on July 11th, and he's going with them. The 6 passengers will board the ship on July 11th, which is actually 9 days before Bezos' Blue Origin is set to go off on July 20th. So I think this is hilarious.
That's not this month, is it?
Yeah, it's this month. It's all happening this month.
Yeah.
So Richard Branson pulled a fast one on the richest man on the planet. The richest man on the planet can't get up to space before Richard Branson. I think that's really kind of fun. I'm excited about this because I'm a huge fan of Richard Branson. Dale and I are going to Vegas in 2 weeks. We're going to go see his brand new Virgin Casino.
Right. Yeah.
Excited about that. So he's launching from New Mexico on the 11th, and then Bezos is going up on the 20th.
With his brother.
With his brother, that's right. I'm kind of excited about this.
It's kind of fun. This is like the new space race, is it not?
Not to be outdone, the third member of the Billionaire Boys Club in space, Elon Musk, is also sending people up in space in with his SpaceX company. But he has also not made any interest. He's not said that he would like to go. So maybe he's the smartest one of the group.
I feel like
Elon is staying on Earth.
Right. I feel like maybe they're rushing and we might lose one of them. I don't know.
Well, this would be very bad. But when you have that much money, what do you have to lose, right?
I guess. However, the space travel has come a long freaking way. I mean, we're landing reusable rockets in the middle of the water on barges. Yeah. It's pretty. If you see, I could watch those videos all day.
Oh, it's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
It's amazing that Branson's Virgin Atlantic and Bezos's Blue Origin and all these companies are doing a better job than our own NASA has done. I mean,
well, NASA was defunded there was a time it was for ages, like during the Obama administration. Yeah. There was no money going to NASA at all.
It's really too bad because space is the final frontier, as we all know. We've learned
that's Alaska.
We've learned this our entire lives. Not spending money on space exploration is a huge, huge mistake, and we should be spending much more on it.
I agree with you on that.
Cut green stamps, cut Medicare. Let's spend money on space.
I was about to say, and you've already answered it for me, is that's an easy answer to say, but when you're a president and you're and you got people that you need to help, NASA should be last on your list.
Listen, this will come no surprise to our listeners. There are way too many people to help right now. I mean, literally, there's like millions and tens and tens of millions of people who rely on the government dole. Get a job, dude.
And I feel
we got shit to do. We got space things to do.
But I also feel like that. Like I agree with you on that. Is that prior to the pandemic, there were a lot of people who probably are relying on the government and shouldn't be.
There's got to be a cutoff on services from the government.
The pandemic has probably set us back a few years to get those other people who are relying on government who weren't before to get back on track.
Would you be comfortable talking just not in specifics, but the example that I love that you have said to me before? I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this.
Oh, I'll say it. I know what you're talking about. I'll say it right now. So we live.
Don't get too specific.
No, I'm not.
Very general.
We live in the state of Delaware, right? And I don't know each individual state's laws regarding this, but anyway, I know someone, right? This is a person that I know who has 4 children, who has barely worked a day in their life. Right?
Yeah.
The first child,
don't get too specific.
I'm not. The first child,
they get a certain amount of money from the government.
Was unable to care for the child, so they got government assistance to help with a child, right? She had an additional child after this one.
Mm-hmm.
The state has given her money for that child.
Right.
She had a third child. Third child.
Never work, and there's no reason why this woman can't be working.
Right.
She can work.
And the state has given additional money for that child. She's had a fourth child, and the state has given money for that child.
So she's working the system
Right.
to the max.
Exactly. My thing is, and if I ran a state,
Yes.
if I had
Or anything.
a moment
Yes.
to my own,
Why don't you run?
I would fix that problem.
You should run for office.
Is
Joe.
that I'm not cold-hearted when it comes to this issue. There are people out there
who need assistance?
who need assistance.
We get that.
And it's boggled down by people like this.
who abuse the system.
The way that I would change it is that you can have all the children you want.
We're only
But
going
when
to pay
you
for the
ask-
first one.
But when you but when you ask me for help,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't care if you have one. Maybe your first one, oh, I can handle this. But now I
Right.
got second one. Maybe someone's passed away. The breadwinner's passed away.
Sure.
Now I need financial help to get me
Yeah.
to carry these kids on.
Sure.
Right? That's it. Right? So you have two children.
There's a limit.
Your breadwinner has passed. You've asked the state for assistance, and the state said, yes, we'll give you money.
But then you can't have another.
But if you have a third child or a fourth child,
you're on your
we're
fucking own.
not getting any more. This is the problem that I have with people not having personal responsibility.
Right.
There's none in this country. Absolutely none whatsoever.
No, there's a city in West Virginia where 75% of the occupants or residents of the city
Yeah.
are on government assistance and don't work.
Right.
You can't get a job there. There's no jobs there. Why are you still living there? Fucking pick up your pack your car and move to somewhere where there are jobs.
I didn't tell you this, but there was one time that I went to go get us some gas station chicken.
We love our gas station chicken.
But anyway, that was funny. I put that out there. But anyway, there's a guy, there's people out there who are very friendly, who like to talk to you and engage with you. And I was waiting for my order, so I couldn't get away because I don't like these kind of conversations. Right. But anyway, it was a guy. He was probably mid-40s, and he asked me what I did. And I said, I don't.
I told you not to.
I know. Tell
him you're a podcaster.
And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, I've been lucky enough that
you're retired.
I don't need to work.
I hate when you say that.
I'm sorry. I said no. He asked me what I did, and I said I don't. And the next question out of his mouth was, "Are you on disability?"
Oh my gosh! Because that would be
it's a normal thing,
right?
To be financially assisted by your state and federal government.
Yeah, but so this is a prime example why I don't want you to answer the question that way. Why don't you tell people that you're an award-winning podcaster?
Because that seems like a road that I don't want to go down.
Or why don't you tell people
it just seems like it's more conversation than I want to have with
why
people
don't
that
you
I don't want to
tell people that you're a house husband?
And that's the thing that, well, that's the same thing. It's like I don't.
Please don't just tell
and
people
the worst
you don't have a
is
job.
when I'm getting my hair cut, because then I can't get away.
Well, make something up then.
I mean, like that guy, when I was standing at the chicken counter waiting for my chicken, I could have ran away easily.
You should have run away.
But when I'm getting my hair cut, I can't run away.
All right. Well, then lie.
I try. I don't know what to say.
Make something fun. Say I'm a songwriter. I'm a jingle writer for commercials.
Then they ask follow-up questions when it's something fun, and I don't have the answers to be a jingle writer. I was like, oh, what you made? I was like, oh, do you remember the Oscar Mayer Wiener song? My baloney has a first name. I made that. How old are you? I'm 40. Oh, you didn't fucking.
That was before you were born.
That's like Post-it note from that movie.
That's true. All right, so come up with a better lie that makes more sense.
All right. Well, if you're out there listening and you could think of a better lie that I could tell people the reason why I don't work, let me know.
Why don't you tell them the fucking truth that you're a podcaster, you do 2 podcasts a week, and otherwise you keep house. Keeping out. What do you do to keep house?
Oh,
That's what I'd like to know.
All
Hey,
right. I need a new drink. Can we get this going?
The Broadway musical. You want to talk about things that make me crazy? I do.
Things that make you go,
Things that make you go, It's the injustice of it all. Oh, by the way, Chris Benjamin is listening to this show. Do you know him?
Who that is?
He used to own this room that we're sitting in.
Oh, that's right.
So I understand that when he's listening to the show, he talks back to us and has things to say. So I just want to say right now, Chris Benjamin, talk all you want.
How are you?
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Anyway.
And Chris Benjamin, you should come check out
what we've done to your basement.
What we've done to your basement, because it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. We love your house, by the way.
Yes.
The Broadway musical Hamilton has made over $1 billion in revenue worldwide since it opened in 2015. There's the New York show on Broadway and 4 tour productions. Of course, they're just getting back into business after a pandemic and all that shit. But despite the fact that the show has made over $1 billion, people. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
They got $30 million in federal funds from the U.S. government's Shuttered Venue Operators Grant Program, and they might get $20 million more.
Wow.
From the $16 billion federal aid program. Let me just tell you guys, the chief producer of the show, his name is Jeffrey Seller. He told the New York Times that none of the grant money will be going to the producers or investors of the show. All the money will be used in the reopening costs and reimbursements for pandemic-related expenses.
Is that the whole reason that this whole program was developed? It was for working people?
Seller and the creator, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who we all know, wrote and produced the show and starred in it. They are all multi-millionaires. And the production has made over I'll say it again, $1 billion in revenue since opening in 2015 and continues to pack houses, and they will when Broadway opens again. Tell me why, people, that you're comfortable with $30 up to $50 million of your taxpayers' money going to the people who made Hamilton so they can get back on their on their horse. It makes no sense to me. I get giving some money to the guy who owns the little store on the corner.
Right.
I get giving the money to the restaurant, the mom and pop restaurant downtown that was struggling during COVID
totally
that had to be closed. I do not give any money to Chipotle or to Disney or to fucking Hamilton
or McDonald's, any of those.
They should not get a fucking dime.
Right.
They made over $1 billion on their show. They should not be getting a fucking dime, and they got $30 million of our money, people.
It's horrible. Every time the government institutes one of these programs, it's rushed. It's never thoroughly thought through.
You should be incensed. I mean, you should be fucking incensed.
I mean, the one thing that the government needs to get a hand on is that, okay, so can we say that the pandemic is over? It doesn't matter. We'll just say yes, it is, right?
There's the Delta variant.
Yeah, we'll just say everything's back normal. Nothing's going to kill us. Everything's back to normal. The government should be in a position to already have these programs in place, and they should stay dormant, right? Figure out all the kinks.
Yeah.
Everything. And so when we have a situation like this, you activate it. Yeah. And all the kinks have been worked out.
But if government grant money is going to go to something, it should go to essential services only. We don't need Broadway
Hamilton.
shows. We don't need Hamilton. We don't need fancy things. We need food. We need shelter. We need healthcare. That's it.
That's it.
No money should be going to Chipotle. No money should be going to Lin-Manuel, whatever his name is.
Miranda.
Whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you guys should be writing your congressmen and writing your senators today and saying, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you send $30 million of my money
to a Broadway show?
To fucking a Broadway show. Now, granted, my brother-in-law works on Broadway, and I want him to survive, and I want Broadway to survive. I want theater to survive. I want movies to survive.
Right.
But not at the expense of the taxpayers.
No.
It has nothing to do with the
It has
taxpayers.
nothing to do with the taxpayers.
Because it's not an essential thing.
Right. No, I totally
Right?
agree. I totally 100% agree.
All right. It would be like giving money to Fendi so that people could have purses.
It's just like that stupid stimulus check that we got.
Right. Well, yeah. Why did you and I get stimulus checks?
Why did we get $1,200 a piece?
Why did we get money that we did not need?
No.
Well, we talked about that on the show before. All right, I'm not going to talk about Britney. You guys all know about Britney and Bill Cosby. I had Britney and Bill Cosby on here, but we've got so long. The one thing I would like to talk about real quick before we leave is Winston Marshall. He's the founding member of the folk rock group Mumford & Sons, which if you guys know Mumford & Sons, they're pretty amazing.
Yeah.
He announced last Thursday that he's leaving the band so that he can speak freely about political issues. I think this is really fucking sad. He's 33 years old. He's the lead guitarist and banjo player of this amazing band, which kind of is a crossover between
country
and
rock.
folk and rock.
Yeah.
And they've won many awards and stuff, and they're really great. He quit the band last month because he sparked a social media storm last March because he tweeted admiration for this book called Unmasked, which was basically a book about a right-wing writer who was attacking the far-left militant group known as Antifa. So, fine. So he got a lot of shit for that. But what he basically came out and said, listen, I'm not against far-right. I'm not against far... No, he said... No, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. He is against far-right. He's also against far-left.
Yes.
He is equally against both, as
I
am.
think most normal and conscious people are.
We need to be somewhere in the middle, people.
Right.
So not Antifa, not Trump lovers, these people who are going way, way, way too far to the right. He's somewhere in the middle. And he's basically saying, listen, I can't speak freely without the suffering the consequences, and I don't want my band to suffer, so I'm going to leave. And I think that's really, really shitty.
It's sad, but also
really
admirable.
But it's really shitty that he feels like he has to leave this great band because he's not allowed to say that we can't be a far right country and we can't be a far left country. We need to be somewhere.
Now.
I know.
I hate it.
It is exactly where we are. And you and I have friends that are on the far right, and we have friends that are on the far left, way farther. They've fallen off the edge. They're so far left.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop, come back, because you're being stupid.
And the one thing that I hate to say is, and this is the reason why I have stopped social media.
Yeah.
100%.
I know, we've talked about this before, and I think I need to do it.
I haven't posted in years.
Sucks. It really sucks. Anyway, we need to get out of here, but I just want to let you guys know, we talked at the top of the show in our commercial that Cirque Du Soleil shows are back. At Bellagio, Mystere at Treasure Island, Love at Mirage, Michael Jackson's One at Mandalay Bay, Blue Man Group is back at Luxor. They're all back. You guys can get your tickets for them. They start at $75. We would be very excited if you bought it. Hey, Vegas is back, you guys. Nevada Casino.
$75 for a Cirque du Soleil seat is
it's a
deal.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Nevada casinos made a record-breaking $1.23 billion in May. Vegas is back,
I love that
baby.
city.
People are traveling.
Love it.
You and I are going to add to that number in the next couple weeks because we're going to be there. We're very excited about that.
So we have, one more show and then we're off?
One more show and then we're off for a week. But then we'll be back. All right, check out the Binge Bum podcast. Dale and I will be back this Friday talking about all things streaming. Excited about that. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace out, y'all. But there are some people who are going to take offense to being grabbed by the pussy.